Hello everybody, welcome to Drinks and a Movie, and it is that time of the year where I tell you what my favorite films of the year are. 2019 to be specific, because we're in 2020 right now. So, my top 10 favorite movies of the year is what I'm going to go over today, and I'm going to have to give the obligatory statement of this is my list, this is my favorite list, and your lists are going to be different. And I just want to say that your lists are wrong. And I don't want you to be mad. I try not to be angry. I don't want you to feel bad about yourself, but maybe try to learn something. I'm kidding, of course. Everybody's list is going to be different. In fact, let me know in the comments what your list is. This is my list. These are my favorites. I'm not saying they're the best movies of the year or these are just the ones that moved me and the ones I got the most had the most fun with, got the most out of, had the most, just emotional reaction to. Like I said, they're probably going to be different from yours, but, let me explain how I do this real quick, and I'm going to try to do this all in one take, so everyone bear with me. What I'll ask you to do, two things is, one, please excuse probably a little burping and belching because there's going to be a lot of beer consumed here in a short amount of time. So I apologize if I do that once or twice. And also forgive me if I spoil anything later on because I'm going to try to keep my head as clear as I can, but I'm gonna be getting down to like number 2, 3, or 4, and really starting to enjoy myself. So the way I do it is this is just a way for me to drink a lot of beer and tell you my top 10. And so the way I do it, I just go and I find whatever beer I think the can might look like, the movie I'm talking about, or the name of the beer might remind me of the movie, whatever it is. But it's just all in fun. We're all here to have fun. And let's get to it, starting with number 10. Number 10 is a Netflix film that I saw real recently called The Two Popes. The Two Popes is about Pope Francis and Pope Benedict, kind of right when Benedict was about to retire essentially from being Pope, which hardly ever happens. It happens like one other time in history. And it's about these two guys that just have conflicting ideals about how the Catholic Church wants to take things. And it's two of our finest actors living right now, Jonathan Pryce playing Francis and Anthony Hopkins playing Benedict, and these two just masters of their craft going at each other with just incredible dialogue, and it kind of gives a bit of a backstory as to who Francis is. Anyway, I picked the beer Tradition IPA. It's a local brewery. Catholic Church is steeped in tradition, and so I thought I would start with that, and we'll go from there. Cheers, everybody. Here's to number 10, The Two Popes. Okay, up next is another Netflix movie. I love Netflix this year. The other Netflix movie I'm going to talk about is Dolomite Is My Name, the Eddie Murphy movie about Rudy Ray Moore, who is he started out, I think, as just a kind of strange comic where he did like these little rhymes. Anyway, he started making, very kind of outrageous films in the 70s. This is one of Eddie Murphy's best performances in years. It is, an adorable movie. It's a movie about deciding you're going to do something, and no matter who tells you can't, and whoever tells you that, you're never going to do it, you ignore all those people, you do it anyway because you're led to, and you're not going to let anybody stop you. And this thing is hopeful. It's funny. And again, Eddie Murphy. There's Wesley Snipes in there. This movie is just incredible. It's the better version of The Disaster Artist, in my opinion. And I love this movie from start to finish. And the beer I am gonna have here is Dogfish Head's Wood Aged Bitches Brew, and I feel like Rudy Ray Moore would really like this one. I think it has a label that he would appreciate. It's really dark, so we'll see. Cheers, everybody. Number 9, Dolomite Is My Name. All right, moving on to number 8. Number 8 is James Mangold's Ford v Ferrari, or in every part of the world, other part of the world, is Le Mans 66. This movie is just your classic kind of sports, I don't want to say comeback story, because it's kind of Ford, spending tons of money to beat Ferrari in the Le Mans race in 1966. But what this movie does great is follow these two, I don't want to say characters because they're real people. Carroll Shelby, played by Matt Damon, and Ken Miles, excuse me. See, it's starting. Played by Christian Bale, and figuring out how to win. Because these guys are purists. These guys love cars. They love racing, and they love doing, pushing the limit. And this movie moved fast. It was fun. It was interesting, and Christian Bale is incredible. And I just loved every minute of it. It was so much fun and left you with so much joy. And I just really enjoyed it. And the beer, I am going to use is, Two Roads, Le Mans, get it? Honey Spot Road IPA. So we'll see how this is. That last one was all right. And this one's a little lighter, thank God. Cheers, everybody. Here is to Ford v Ferrari, number 8. Nope, the left. Next, number 7. Number 7 is a movie I loved. And initially doing this list, I felt like it was going to be difficult because I didn't feel like this year was great for movies, but the last quarter of the year has been incredible. And Dr. Sleep is number 7, the sequel to The Shining, directed by Mike Flanagan, starring Ewan McGregor and Rebecca Ferguson. And this movie is so really well paced. It both becomes a sequel to The Shining, the movie, and a sequel to the book, which are a bit different. But it's so clever and so interesting, and it becomes this kind of almost like if Stephen King, wrote a X-Men comic. There's a lot of, just fascinating things in it. Ewan McGregor is great. And, it's just a movie that stuck with me. So my number 7 movie is Dr. Sleep. I think it mixed it up. So I just drank Slumbering Dragon, which is what I was going to do for Dr. Sleep. Slumbering, Sleep, and this is Two Roads. So, we'll switch it up, cause there ain't nobody here but us and you and me, and it doesn't really matter. So here is to number 7, Dr. Sleep. Cheers, everybody. That was St. George's Slumbering Dragon. Is what I meant to pair with it. All right, moving on to number 6. Number 6 is Marriage Story, Noah Baumbach's Marriage Story. I did a review on this a couple weeks ago. This is a heartbreaking film, and it's just so well written and so well acted by especially the two leads, Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson. Scarlett Johansson should, in my opinion, at this point, win Best Actress. She is incredible. And the beer I picked for this is Flying Dog's Family Drama, Marriage Story. Get it? It's about divorce. I don't have much more to say about this. Watch my review. I said I loved it. The dialogue is so natural. Two leads are incredible. Laura Dern and Ray Liotta and Alan Alda pop in there as their lawyers, and they're great. I mean, it's a hard watch and it's heartbreaking, but it's also fantastic. And that is my number 6 to Marriage Story. Here we go. Top 5, everybody. Top 5. And number 5 is Jojo Rabbit. Jojo Rabbit, directed by Taika Waititi and written by him. And the beer I'm picking for this is the Duck Rabbit Milk Stout. Duck Rabbit. All right. Milk Stout. I also did a review on this recently, and not much more to say here, except I don't know if I mentioned it in my review, but Roman Griffin Davis and is the lead, who plays JoJo, and his friend Archie Yates, pardon me, are incredible, and they deserve all the credit in the world. Everybody's good in this. Scarlett Johansson again coming back for another incredible performance. She is fantastic, and I just love this movie. It's again a hard watch, but definitely worth it because it does end in a hopeful place, which is to me impossible to have a movie about divorce but end in a hopeful place. So here's to Marriage Story, number 5, top 5, everybody. I need notes. So, top 4. Here we go. Number 4. And maybe you can figure out what movie it is by the title of this beer that I picked. It's the New Belgium's Hop Avenger IPA. Hop Avenger. It's Avenger Endgame. It's Avenger Endgame. So this movie is 10 years, 23 movie culmination of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I give full credit to the Russo brothers and Kevin Feige for pulling off the impossible. This movie is incredible. I've seen it now probably 5 or 6 times, a couple of times at home now, and it's just as good every time I see it. I'm invested in these characters, and it gets me on every level emotionally. That I don't know how they did it, and did it in such a way. And my theory is because the guys in charge love this stuff, love these properties, have so much respect for it, and even all the directors have so much respect for it that they created this world that is just oozing with love of the subject matter and of the characters and of the world, and that's how you make great cinema. So here is to Avengers Endgame. This movie is incredible. I love it, and cheers. All right, top 3, everybody. So, number 3 stuck with me. I saw this right after I saw Avengers Endgame. Oh, that was loud. I saw this after Avengers Endgame, and it's not something that a lot of people saw, and it's not something a lot of people seem to care about, but I did, because this is, without further ado, and it's Rocket Man. So number 3 is Rocket Man, the Elton John biopic, directed by Dexter Fletcher. I wanted to mention his name because he took the subject matter and made a musical, which is brilliant. It's probably what Bohemian Rhapsody should have done. He made a musical instead of a biopic. Which I guess it's both, but what that means is, and I didn't get a chance to review this, it means it exists in a fantasy world of a musical. So the characters use Elton John's music to tell the story of Elton John. And so that means, his father sings, his boyfriend sings for little moments. Him as a kid sings his songs, expressing their emotions at the time in the form of Elton John songs, and I found that brilliant. Plus, Taron Egerton, who plays Elton John, here come the burps, who plays Elton John, is incredible, and he does his own singing, and this movie just got me from start to finish. I was so emotional because it's a fairly sad story. but performed beautifully, has wonderful musical set pieces, and just something that I just ended up loving from start to finish, and it just stuck with me. I saw this back in May, and I was like, it might be better than Endgame, and it is, at least in my opinion. So the beer I picked for this is Clown Shoes. It's the brewery. I imagine Elton John maybe could have worn clown shoes at a certain point. Space Cake Double IPA. Say a prayer for me, everybody, because I'm gonna try Space Cake Double IPA. Oh man, that's not something I'm gonna ever drink again. All right. Top two. We could start with the drum rolls, but I don't have drums. So number two, my number two favorite movie of 2019, will be represented by Troegs' Hop Knife. It's Knives Out, everybody. Knives Out is so much fun. The Rian Johnson mystery, who done it? Film that's kind of an homage to all the classic mysteries of the Agatha Christie Murder of the Orient Express with the Poirot character, or Murder, She Wrote, Angel Lansbury, so many things. Sherlock Holmes. This movie is so fun, so funny, but also has so much heart, and has quite a bit of social commentary going on. That's could be considered a little heavy-handed if it wasn't so true. Again, I did a review on this a couple weeks ago. Go check it out. I love this movie. I've seen it 3 times now, and it just gets better and better and better. Ana de Armas and Daniel Craig steal it. I hope they get nominated for some sort of awards in the award season coming up. It's a hell of a movie. Go see it. So number 2, Knives Out. Cheers to Knives Out. All right. Moment we've all been waiting for. All these beers I got, having made my list about a week or so ago, I specifically picked out. This last one is Washund, which is German for Washund. Anyway, it's the Bitchin' Candied Bacon Stout. Has nothing to do with my number 1 movie, but it's a couple of things I love, which is bacon, which is a stout, which is beer, and maybe candy. I mean, and this is a long way to get to what my number 1 movie is, which is 1917. And the reason it's a long way to get to it is because I saw it today, and I didn't expect to have it on my list, but I wanted to see it before I made the list because of all the great stuff I've heard about it, and all the great stuff is so justified because this movie is incredible. It is why you go to the theater, why you go to the movies, to be transported into this time period of World War I. And it's about these two friends that go on a mission for the English army to tell a group to not attack because the Germans are expecting it during World War I. Sam Mendes directed it. The 2 actors are George McKay and Dean Charles Chapman. And I saw it today, and it jumped to number 1, which hopefully would give you an idea as to how much I loved it. The conceit of the presentation of the film is that it's done entirely in one shot, which means it follows these 2 characters from start to finish on this 2-hour journey to complete this mission that they had to complete to save thousands of soldiers' lives. and there's stuff that's done in here that I don't understand how it's done. I don't want to say distracting, but some of the camera movements are baffling, and that's what I love about the magic of movie making, is that it can do what this movie does and still wrap you up emotionally. I got teary-eyed twice, and create a suspenseful story, and also have these little quiet moments. I mean, this film had it all, in my opinion, and just blew me away in every sense of the word. I love this film. So here's to my number one movie of the year, 1917. It's incredible. Please, everybody, go see it, because it's really the only way to see this movie is in the cinema and being engulfed by this method of storytelling. And thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. Please tell me what your top 10 is. I want to hear it. I want to know. And have a drink on me and enjoy movies. I'm excited for 2020, and I'll see you next year. Cheers, everybody. Bye-bye.